Hey everyone, it's now late January and we're here to see if they did any repairs on the leak drain since I reported it was having a leak here inside the pipe. This is new mulch and they had an excavator here about a month ago. I imagine they would have fixed it. Over here's the old lake drain. They moved a few rocks around that used to be up here. Now what I'm noticing here is this old drain is somehow radiating heat because right above it it's not frozen. Somebody's been throwing a bunch of rocks out trying to break the ice. I plan to look at the pipe today. Not sure if we're going to be able to. We might be able to. It looks like it's flowing pretty heavily today. But let's look at the situation. They've done some improvements here since the last time I was out. They added more rock here. This pool's a lot deeper than it was. They also added all this mesh here to put the hill back together. The reason they ripped down the trees is because they flattened this out so they could drive trucks out there to the old culvert to seal it. And when they were done, they got rid of the road and they made it back into a hill. And now they're probably just going to let it grow in again. Yeah, it was raging yesterday. This was all underwater by the evidence. We had a lot of rain yesterday. Right now I'm just looking in here to see what's going on. Nope, that's way too deep to even enter right now. And it's probably moving too fast once you get in there. Right now it's not moving fast because of this pool that's designed to slow it down. But when you get into the straightaway, it's probably moving quite fast. Yeah, there's at least 18 inches of water right there. We'll have to come back during a drought, but I imagine they did do the repairs because they did dig it up again. They had an excavator here for a while. And why else would they dig up a brand new pipe a second time unless they were actually going to fix it? And they also did improvements here. So we're just going to assume it's fixed. The reason the new one started leaking in the first place is because they didn't use the proper seals. The seals they used keep the water from coming out of the pipe, but it doesn't stop groundwater from entering it. Down here looks really different. You see how all these cattails and swamp grass, it's all pushed over. It's pushed over because the water here was extremely high yesterday over all this. That culvert was blasting, and also it was blasting out of that pipe too. The last snowfall was heavy wet snow and it collapsed all these plants. That's why you can see quite a distance now through the swamp. Smells out here like rotten plant material. And there's the old culvert. You see what's forming there? There's a lot of salt deposits starting to form. The same kind of stuff you get on basement walls. especially if you live in a city, you'll get a lot of this white powdery stuff. People assume it's mold growing on the basement wall, but it's salt buildup. And if you try spraying it with something, you're just putting it back in the concrete. It's formed by water vapor. As it dries, it leaves that stuff behind. If you try painting over it, it'll make big bubbles on your fresh paintwork. It's nice that they save these trees here. I'm not sure if they marked it to actually save it or they just marked it as a boundary, because I know there was some sort of endangered plant that was in their report that they weren't allowed to touch. All right, it's fixed again for now.